What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. So now we have got a live post-match reaction to Burnley 2, Aston Villa 2. Not really the result we were hoping to get here. But as always, guys, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe button. If you like this stuff, then hit the like button. Let us know in the comments. How was that performance for you? I didn't see the whole game. I only saw some of it. But it just felt lackluster again, away from home. Really seem to be struggling, Gary.
Yeah, we haven't won since January, mate. Away from home in the Premier League. It's beginning to fuck me off, if I'm honest. Like, I'm not going to lie. I just, a couple of things, right? I've calmed down a little bit, but I'm going to, so I've got two reactions to this. So first, I'm going to give you my pissed off reaction, right? Because you cannot play like you did on Thursday and turn up on Sunday and do that. You just can't. It's fucking, it's unacceptable, right? And the other thing I want to say is, right, I'm getting bored of other content creators going, let's be positive, right? Okay, I'm all for positivity, right? I think we should back the team 100% all of the time, right? But you're allowed to be critical. You are allowed to be critical, right? And I don't care what anybody says. That's not acceptable with what's at stake. Right, I know that, look, on the grand scheme of things, we're in a great position, right? Joint fourth in the league, right? 4 points ahead of Bournemouth, right? We should still get it done, but we're not making it easy on ourselves, are we? We've put ourselves under unnecessary pressure. Like, if we'd have won today, going into that Liverpool game on Friday, we could have rested players. Everyone could have had the fucking day off, mate, and got ready for the final. Now we've got to play our best 11 to try and get a point. Do you know what I mean? At the very least. Now it'll be very Villa to go to turn up at Villa Park on Friday and beat Liverpool, right? Yeah. But that's not the point. Like, I just don't agree with the changes. I think for me, I would have gone, right, keep the same team from Thursday and go, right, lads, another 45 minutes, go out and smash Burnley, sorry, right? And then we'll make changes at half time. Right, go and get the game done.
This is the thing.
Momentum, mate. Football sometimes is about momentum, and when you change it, right, and you bring in Mings and you bring in Maatsen. I thought Maatsen had another poor game today. He was a little bit out of position, you know. And don't get me started on the goals we concede, mate. Emi Martinez, like, he's been brilliant, but it's a mistake. What, you just catch the ball. If you don't catch it, you've got to push it out away from goal. He pushed it straight into the striker's path. Well, easy finish, and then Matty Cash. He's been outstanding all season. He has, right? So it's difficult to be critical. But for fuck's sake, we've just gone 2-1 up. Right? We haven't played well.
I was about to say, that's the thing that really frustrated me most. Was we managed to dig it out, right? We managed to turn it round, get 2-1 up. And it's like, right, switch on now. See this game out. You're against a team that has how many defeats was it in a row? That like, I can't remember.
They haven't won in 26 games, mate. 26 games, you fucking idiots!
I mean, yeah, it was very frustrating. And when you go 2-1 up against that team, you think that's it, done. Like, keep it tight, you're done.
In that moment, mate, for Matty Cash, right, just fucking hit the ball down the pitch, right, and regroup. Right, I know it's not Emery ball because we have to play a certain way from the back, but you've just gone 2-1 up. Don't be a twat and blasting it. It's just to regroup and keep it tight for 5 minutes. And you tell you what, the most disappointing thing for me was his reaction. He gave the ball away. It took him an eternity to get up, and he just like waved his hands up in the air like after we scored. Like, it does my head in. Like, you know, every player that's going to play, like, because now you go, well, what Villa are going to turn up on the 20th? Because if it's that Villa, we ain't winning the Europa League, mate. Right? But if it's the Villa on Thursday, we'll smash Freiburg out the park.
It's difficult. It's difficult. Like, I mean, it is this weird thing this season at the moment where away from home, it's just completely different beast to at home. But I will say there have been some dire performances in the league as well at home recently. It's just some weird thing in the minute where I don't know whether I don't know. People talk about tiredness. I don't know if it's actually tiredness. It's more like lethargic. It's like, or maybe they're mentally tired rather than physically tired. I don't know. But it's just, there's something not quite right in the league. Because that performance on Thursday, we all said, was absolutely unbelievable.
Best I've seen, mate. It was unbelievable. Like, I'm still on a high from that. Like, I still can't speak from Thursday. I'm still on a high, and then they've hit me with a sledgehammer today because it could have been a perfect week. I mean, it so nearly was, right? But it's just we can't keep saying like it's about these key decisions because we keep making the wrong ones. We keep making the mistakes in crucial times. This could have been such a euphoric week in terms of going to that Europa League final, right? And Kevin's just said there in the comments that, like, you know, it might do us well to put a full strength. But if someone gets injured, if McGinn gets injured now against Liverpool, right, and misses that final, how gutted would you be? How many times does it happen? Like, it's written, you've put the risk of our best players now getting injured before a final. Well, you didn't have to do that.
And I do agree with what are coming through in the comments here around like Bournemouth won't win all the games, Brighton won't win all the games. Like, I do believe that is probably the case, but it's just like this frustrating, niggling thing where, you know, it's possible, so it means you can't risk it. It means you can't make those changes. You can't rest your players because if you do, and Bournemouth or Brighton do win their last two, and you lose your last two, all of a sudden you have to win. I mean, it would have been before the end of the season anyway, because the Europa League final is before the end of the season. So you'd have to have won that game. The pressure on that game is just so. I mean, it's big anyway, but it's a whole other level because it's literally your entire season rests on that game.
Well, mate, we're hoping that we put it out the bag. That's what we've got to hope, right? And that's like, because all those things you just said are now possibilities. It's possible for us to lose the last two games.
And like DJD says here, we shouldn't rely on other teams. That's what we could have done today. I mean, yes, it wouldn't have completely sealed the deal, but it would have made it a hell of a lot easier by winning that game today.
Maybe it's all part of Emery's master plan, mate, to actually finish fifth, win the Europa League, so 9 teams can qualify for Europe. He's just trying to promote the English teams.
I was speaking to a mate the other day. It is the case where it only goes to 6th
if we finish fifth and win the Europa League. Yeah. Because the way it works, see, if we finish fifth, right, and win the Europa League, then our Champions League place comes from the Europa League, right? Because you go straight into it. And whereas the 5th place, you have to qualify for the Champions League, you have to play a qualifier, right? If you finish 5th, right? So if we finish 4th and win the Europa League, then the 4th place takes it because that's the higher ranked thing. So then it just goes down to 5th, so you don't get 6th. That's how it works. Right. Okay. For those people that didn't know, there you go. You learn something new every day, right? Always thinking. Look, I can't. Up until about an hour ago, I was feeling massively deflated, mate. I'm not going to lie, because it's that you go from that euphoria to the PTSD kicking in, and I'm sure we'll get over the line. You know, I'm sure we'll win it and we'll get the Champions League. But there is that, because of that 40 years of the PTSD, and last season, and you know the semi-finals, it could easily all fall apart here, right? It could, right? And I just don't want it to. I want us to finish the season strong. And I just hate.
If you actually look at it, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, we do tend to limp over the line, don't we? Under Emery.
Absolutely. Well, when we qualified a couple of years ago for the Champions League, if you remember, it was down to Spurs being shit.
That's what I mean. They were just worse. We were screwing it up, but Spurs were being Spursy.
See.
And then last season we just kind of like fell off again and didn't quite. Well, actually, no, we were the ones running, but we didn't quite have enough at the end. We kind of lost it again. It's the same with this season. This season. It's actually feels like since like Feb we've been poor.
Yeah. Well, the fact that we haven't won away since January, mate, that game against Newcastle in the Premier League is madness. It's just really disappointing. Again, against a side that's relegated and not won in 26. You know, even the Burnley fan that we had on Friday said he felt they were going to lose 3-1. And actually, at times, Burnley were the better side today. They deserve the point. I'm not taking anything away from them. Michael Jackson's going to be moonwalking all the way into the Championship, mate. Ow, Shamal, motherfucker!
Hey, if I'm honest, today I was more gutted about the fact that Arsenal managed to win in the 83rd minute, or whatever it was.
Oh, mate.
I was well gutted.
The chance for West Ham just before it, like I was streaming the TV. What? Bottom right, the angle's bottom right. Why did he try and go across him? It's the only way he's going to save it. Like, it's such a poor finish, right? And then obviously they got the other end and score, which is, you know, and I think the disallowed goal was right to be disallowed. I think it was a foul, if I'm honest. But the only criticism is, and this is what pisses me off about VAR, is that the lack of inconsistency with those things, right? Because it happens all the time and things go. You know, you could argue that one of the West Ham players is being pulled as well. Why isn't that being looked at? Why are we defending the goalkeeper and all that? Like, you know, they just want Arsenal to win the league, didn't they? It's got. But I thought the referee was actually dealt with that really, really well. And I think in hindsight, it is a foul on the keeper and probably should have been disallowed. But
I'll tell you what, maybe it's just me, and obviously I'm clutching at straws. It's not the reason we didn't win the game. I mean, well, technically, it probably is the reason that we didn't win the game in the end. But speaking of referees, and are they just completely determined to not give us a penalty in the Premier League this season?
Yeah, but you can win the Europa League, but you can't have a penalty in the Premier League.
Oh, mate, I was literally watching it when that penalty when it came up, I was literally like, well, that's clearly going to be overturned. Yes, we're going to win this game. Brilliant, fantastic. I was actually, because obviously my stream is about a minute behind, and I was checking the score on my phone. And I was like, how's it still? Was he missed the penalty? I was like, what? Nothing. What? He literally just stood on the heel of Emi Martinez.
Hey, it's Anthony Taylor as well. Anthony Taylor was never going to give us a penalty. He's a knob, and he got 4 on analysis. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 100. 4 out of 100. Prick. Right. Look, it probably should have been a penalty, right? But that would have been harsh on Burnley, if I'm honest. Right. We didn't deserve to win the game. We were nowhere near good enough. Like, we got to, you know, if we can pile on the flowers on Thursday's performance and say how good they were, then we've got to pick them apart and say how bad they were today, because Morgan Rogers, awful today, mate. Awful.
Wasn't that great on Thursday?
No.
He was the one, him and Dino were the 2 players where I was like, meh.
This guy's played probably 110 games now in a calendar year, and he's kind of, he just looks like he's fucked. I just, particularly second half. I didn't see all the first half because I was at Ivers football, but I did watch the second half, and he kept constantly giving the ball away, constantly. Like it just, I mean, we had some half decent moments, but you know, like Tillemans again was quiet today. Just didn't hear him in the second half. He was.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating though again, because like we're saying, like for instance, Tielemans, although Tielemans has come back from an injury, right? But we know Rodgers needs a rest. He never will rest him for whatever reason. But now, because of the fact that we do need, we might need something as Liverpool, he's not going to be able to rest him before that Europa League game because he's going to have to play. What's amazing is how Rodgers doesn't get injured. I just don't understand how he's not injured.
Mate, I think he's taped up. If you see him take his shirt off, he's got fucking strapping across his shoulder, across his nipples, across his knees. He's just got all that pro tape on, and he's like, it's called tan tape, I think. It's fucking.
He comes out, he takes his bodysuit off. He's got some kind of like. He's like Iron Man.
And I bet he's just like a mess on the floor in the change room.
Yeah, he just literally collapses. He's just got this like kind of bionic legs holding him up.
Look, someone's put there, why can't we play football like PSG? Probably taking the piss a little bit. Look, it's not about playing football like PSG, right? Because obviously they got world-class players, but it's like the mentality of where they play. That's doable. The intensity of which they play at is doable for every football team. I'm sorry, it is. And this excuse, they're tired or whatever, well, I don't buy into it, mate. It's twice a week you can play football. They're professional athletes. They're not like you or I who are going to work for 40, 50, 60 hours a week and then playing football on top. So, oh, fuck now. Or, you know, you're a pro athlete, so the energy level should be there. If you get beat on technical, like better teams and people play better, fine. But at least the energy has got to be close to what we saw on Thursday. And when it's not, it doesn't matter who you play in the Premier League. If you're not on it, they'll take chances. If you make mistakes, you get punished. That's just the way it is. And so
I thought this is an interesting guy. So saying some channels are saying this game just don't matter. Bigger fish to fry, rubbish mentality. I don't disagree, but I think the games around it affect your preparation for that game. So like as in, yes, bigger fish to fry is like if we win the Europa League, that's the thing we all want, right? That is the thing we all want. But I think to do that, you need to be able to have the right mentality or preparation leading up to that game, some kind of momentum. And I know obviously against Forest, we had terrible momentum going into it, and we managed to turn up, and we did what we did. But it just, you can't do that every time, right? Like surely if we didn't turn up today,
mate, you're as bad as fucking. Like, honestly, right? I disagree. I'm with you, James. I'm sorry, right? I think you have to turn up and give 110% every fucking game. That's what you
misunderstood me. You misunderstood me. I said you can't. What I mean, I said you can't do that every week where you just turn it on for one game. That's what I mean. I meant you need to have momentum going into it. So the fact that we didn't turn up today, if we don't turn up against Liverpool and then we go into that final on the back again of two kind of mediocre, shitty performances, we're not just going to be able to turn it on again. So we need to have that habit of like going at it and do that performance.
That comment, right, I agree with, because other content creators and other channels, right, will get behind it and go, it doesn't matter or whatever. And this is why we'll never be mainstream, mate, because I'm telling the truth. I'm not here to kind of try and get a job on Sky or get all the advertising stuff or whatever. So you end up being a pundit and fucking just kind of sitting on the fence. Like, no, fuck that. This is about being a passionate fan for my club. This channel was always going to be about being authentic, right? And I'm sorry. So when they do it well, they'll get the flowers. But when they put in performances like that, and there's been a lot of them this season, they need to be torn a new arsehole, mate, because it's not good enough. They get paid very, very well. The least they can fucking do is turn up and put a shift in. Yes, they worked hard on Thursday. They can do it again on Sunday. It's no excuses now, man. I agree with that. I agree with that comment. It's a losing mentality. That's why we'll lose the Europa League. If you're going with like, well, this game doesn't matter. That you're taking that into the next game. It does fucking matter.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. The moment that yes, there's bigger fish to fry with the final, but all the stuff around it affects how your mentality and how you go into that final. So you can't just say it's a completely isolated thing. It's not. And like we're saying things like we now have to play these 3, 4, 5 players against Liverpool just in case. And they could go in, they could get injured like Mara did against Spurs in the FA Cup, or Tielemans did, or McGinn did. If one of those players gets injured and they're out of the final, then you're like, oh, fuck, we fucked it because we didn't get the result against Burnley, which meant we had to play them against Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And look, I want to win the Europa League more than anyone, and maybe that's Unai Emery's master plan. But if we don't win it, right, if we go into a game thinking we're going to walk it, right, you've already fucking lost it. You can't have that mentality. Like, Freiburg are going to come to fucking frustrate us and play. It's a final. Well, there's no way they're going to roll over. We can't just turn up in fucking Istanbul and expect to win, right? You kind of, I'm so talking about it gets me frustrated because I don't understand the lack of desire. But what that means, how have they not been able to translate that energy from Thursday into Sunday, right? It's like, this is why I said from the start, just for this momentum, you've got the team there that have put in an absolute shift. Yes, they might be a little bit tired, but it's Burnley who haven't won in 26. Just get them out on the field for 45 minutes, run at Burnley, go at them, right? And we just... Again, it's individual mistakes today that have cost us. The 2 goals are piss poor. We probably would have beat them 2-0 if we hadn't made our mistakes. Right? Well, to be fair, Burnley had a couple of chances in the first half. Flemming, impressed with him, mate. He scored 11 goals this season for Burnley. Which, in a relegated team, is not bad. 10 league goals and 1 in the cup. Now, I just want to get over the line, and my PTSD is severely affected by this because I've said it all season, we're so close to greatness, and I don't want to fall at the final hurdle, and I'll be pissed off because we're not mentally preparing for it properly. Like, to say things like this game doesn't matter is simply a losing mentality, and I think that's a dangerous game to play when you still need at least a point from Liverpool. And you're going into a cup final in no day. So now, instead of going into the final having been able to rest players, they're all going to go in there like. Actually, are they going to put in a performance against Liverpool because they'll all be wanting to play in the final, right?
So yeah, exactly. Well, that's where this comment doesn't really make sense. So they're conserving energy, in my opinion. It was the mistakes that's the issue. We keep conceding. Conserving energy for what? next Friday.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, they've got a whole week off, right? They got
it's 5 days away, and that's not the game you need to rest for. You wanted to rest the players next Friday for the final, but we
it's
can't.
bullshit. I don't agree with that comment. Sorry, Philly, right? But you put in a shift today, and then you rest your fucking players against Liverpool. That way, they get nearly fucking 2 weeks off. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, right? Unai Emery, I love, I do, but some of his decisions don't make sense in my head. They just don't. And maybe I'm a bit naive, and obviously, I don't know anywhere near the level of football stuff about as Unai Emery does. But sometimes I think we overcomplicate football, and it's such a simple sport to play. It's not rocket science. Like, it's literally momentum, mentality, desire, passion, right? And then ability is what it is, right? We know all the players are good enough, right? We know we've got a great team there when they're on it. They proved that on Thursday. But the mentality of this team worries me. It does. It's not consistent enough. It hasn't been. Like, the only reason we are where we are is probably because of Unai Emery. Right, and if if the rumours were to be true and he went off to Real Madrid, we would be fucked. This team wouldn't be this good. It just wouldn't. Whoever comes in, right? And so we need one big massive push. And I just feel today, if we'd have, like you said, if we'd have won the game, it takes the pressure off massively going into that final. Now, it might be right, mate. Most of the Villa squad are like me and you, completely ADHD as fuck and thrive under pressure, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think a lot of professional athletes, right? You like when you're up against it and you're in those big occasions. That's when you raise your game, and that's when you do perform your best. And we've always seemed to perform better against the bigger teams. But the big occasions necessarily we haven't usually got past. But that one on Thursday, obviously, we're gonna book that trend. I don't know. It's just really frustrating because now, I mean, who is it? DJD again. Really, it makes sense. This still, if we'd done the business at Fulham or Spurs, we wouldn't be in this position.
100%.
So now we've actually done it. 3 games that we've just bottled it, not bottled it because they weren't, but like we just haven't really turned up at all. And it means that we're now in this. We're running out of games. There's 2 games now, and we both said earlier in the season we're like, we do not want. It shouldn't have been the case
of getting to Liverpool and City and needed something.
Liverpool or City, like we just can't be doing that. And of the 2, Liverpool at home is probably the one where you're more likely to get something. But if we don't get something there, going into that City game, last game of the City, well, going to the final. Imagine if you don't win the final, and then you got fucking City, and it's like, well, you basically got to Bournemouth.
And they might need to beat us to win the league, mate. We ain't winning at Man City. We haven't won there in 20 attempts.
I mean, I think City aren't going to win the league now. I think Arsenal with that win.
No, I think Arsenal's result today is probably cemented it, but it still could go down to the wire, mate. It could.
No, I agree.
Like, do you know what I mean? So, what I'm saying
is, to win to have any chance, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. So we've now just got three pressure games now instead of 1, which would have been the final, right?
Yeah,
and they're all in the space of a week.
Yeah.
So you've got three games in a week, right? Or 8 days.
It looks like no Anana probably for that for the final. Still, it said 2 to 3 weeks out. I think it's probably unlikely that it'll be there.
Yeah. So look, I'm deflated, but on the flip side of it, we are in a strong position. But it's frustrating that we've now got to rely on other teams to fuck up, right? Yeah. To get there. Look, all we can hope for is that happens this weekend, right? That we get something against Liverpool. I think a point will be enough, and that Man City beat Bournemouth, right? Brighton have got Leeds and Man United, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So if we get a point, and Bournemouth win, then we're 2 points clear of Bournemouth with 1 game to go.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you said, Bournemouth have got City, and you feel like either City are going to go, the league's gone, and they're going to prioritise the FA Cup final, or they're going to go, no, we're going to win every game to the end of the season now.
Well, isn't the FA Cup's next weekend, isn't they? So City won't be playing. I'm sure it's next Saturday, the FA Cup final.
Really? It's not. Isn't it usually like after the end of the
It's supposed to be, but no, it's not. I'm positive. I'm pretty sure it's next Saturday. Just check it, Google it now. I'm sure it's the 15th of May. Sure it is.
So I'll probably text in the comments. Hang on.
Or 16th of May, sorry. 16th of May.
Yeah,
Saturday,
16. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, God. So even that, it's going to be like, oh, we're not even going to know. It's going to be this, like, when there's the game in hand bollocks. And then the game in hand will be played at, like, a weird time. And it'll be a case where, like, City might not turn up.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Thank you so much, Nickelodeon. That's an amazing, amazing super chat. Thank you very much. Are we living up to unrealistic expectations? We are higher than our squad puts us. Prove me wrong. Start the season, I would take this situation all day wrong. All day wrong? All day long?
All day long.
I'm sure they are. It's not unambitious. It's realistic. Yeah, I mean, we are definitely overachieving this season. I don't think anyone else thinks that that's not the case. I think the point is that your expectations throughout a season change. We've talked about this before. We've talked about at the start of the season, we were hoping for a top 10 finish if we could and win the Europa League. Now we're in the point where we're in the final and we are in the last 3 games. We're one win in the Premier League away from pretty much sealing that 5th place. And we haven't been able to do it. And I don't think that's unrealistic expectations. I just think that's the expectations now, based on the fact you've gone the whole season, you got yourself to this position. You were 12 points clear or whatever it was at one point from 5th. One win? One win? And you didn't do it against Fulham, Spurs and Burnley? It's like...
I think in the bigger picture, mate, right, there's 2 parts to this for me. There is the Unai Emery factor, right, which is... He's made us believe with their owners and Unai Emery and where we've been, right? Yes, that's where I want to be. I want Champions League football and I want to be winning trophies. That's what he's made me believe. That's how good a manager he is, right? Now the realism of that is that he's done it with a squad that's probably not good enough to be doing it. He's improved players, right? But you know, if you're going to be critical of Unai Emery about anything, is that his transfer windows haven't been great. Right, he's had a couple of good ones, but you know, there's been players that have come in and have not impacted us in the right way. Now, we need this Champions League, and we need it next year, and we need him to be able to really invest in the squad properly and get some quality, because we know that the depth really isn't good enough. Bailey, Louise, like, you know, and we know why, the financial restrictions and all that. And I don't want to go down that route, but there's 2 parts to it. There's that, so. I agree with Nickelodeon in terms of it's setting the expectation. It's maybe a bit and we are punching above our weight, but we are there, and we're there because we've got a world-class manager now. So it's hope versus expectation. Now, obviously, after speaking to the Burnley fan on Friday, mate, I felt fucking so bad because, like, you know, I'm moaning about going to a European final and challenging for it, and he's like, "Fuck off, mate! We've got to play Blues next year."
We're playing Lincoln next season.
Yeah, you know, at least they've got a local derby, which is it Blackburn? Is it Blackburn, their local derby? What?
I think so. Yeah, they had like Leeds and that way.
Yeah. So you know, well, anyway, like it makes you realise how lucky we are and how blessed we've been in the last 4 seasons. It's been amazing. So I feel like we should have a disclaimer at the start of this show. We are massive Villa fans, right? And we're so grateful for where we are, right? The last 4 years have been nothing short of incredible. But now, right, because the belief's there, we start to nitpick. You start to look at the things that can get us to the next level. I've said this on every show for the last fucking 6 months, mate, right? It's not about necessarily trying to have a go at the players, but I can't sit here and just want to be prim and proper about everything because people want to be positive all the time, and it's not positive.
It's not like we've been miles off, and we've, like, you know. So say for instance, like the title race that we're in, right? And the title race we're in, like I said before, if you're running in a running race and you're in lane 8 and you start the race, you're in the race. Yes, you might come 8th and lose it and fall off, but you were in the race, right? It's the same thing with us. We were in the race for that. So we kind of fell off that and expectations changed. But then, like I said, it's like, yes, I just don't think our expectations are too high because we've basically gone, even with the team we've got, to go Fulham, Spurs and Burnley need one win. You didn't get one. And it's like, that's not over expectation. That's just not turning up for one of those games where.
And when you look at those games, the nature of the performance is not good enough, right? Because if you look at it,
it's not like we turned up and they just
beat us.
Put a really good game and they beat us. We just let them win. We lost. Awful. We didn't lose. They didn't win.
I just want to, mate. Do you know what? If we win the Europa League, this will all be forgotten, right? I'm going to be in Istanbul.
Well, this is what we said. This is what I said about Spurs and Fulham, right? When we won that game against Forest, I said, "Who gives a shit about Fulham and Spurs? Let's go beat Burnley." But now we haven't beat Burnley. Now it's like, well, actually, no, those games are still really important. And like you said, you might get to the end of the season, you win the Europa League. We managed to do something against Liverpool. We get fifth. Who gives a shit about all those games? But right now, we're in it. We're in it. It's like when my
heart can't take it, mate. I'm so nervous. I just I'm not excited. I'm nervous, excited. I'm trying to turn the nerves into excitement. Right. The fact that I'm going to be in Istanbul to see them lift that trophy in Istanbul will be something like I'm going to cry. You know, first time in 4 years, and how much it means. It's going to be. I was emotional after the game on Thursday, and this is how much it means to me because. And that's why I speak so passionately about it. And it's not because I want to be critical. I'm not trying to be critical. It's hypercritical. It's trying to pick the bones out of it to know what we can do to get to the level of winning trophies, because that's where this club deserves to be. We are massive. We are, and we deserve to be kind of winning trophies. But to win trophies, you've got to do it dogged, man. You've got to fucking dig in and you've got to want it and you've got to work hard. And that performance today was simply not good enough. And anyone that sits and says, "Oh, it doesn't matter," or "let's be positive for it." No, look, we will be positive when it comes down to the next game. But for this game, they have to know that that's not good enough. That's not the standard that gets you into winning a trophy. You can't go into Freiburg like that thinking, "Oh, we can just turn up and walk around the pitch," because they're going to fucking be on it because it's a final. Right, and it's who wants it the most at this stage of the season when silly shit's happening. Anyone can beat anyone because it's who wants it the most, and those are the people that get promoted, win trophies, and win titles. Right, it's who dares wins, and if we don't dare, we won't win. And I'm getting pissed off with people telling me that we fucking just forget about it to do my head in. Fucking.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing that concerns me is. We've spoken about it before, the lack of winners in the current squad. Like we don't have those players who have been there, done that. We've got a couple, right? I think did Pau Torres win the Europa before with Emery, or did he just get to the final? I can't remember. Emi Martinez obviously winning a World Cup. You got other players who are all internationals, but to be honest,
there's less than a handful of players that have won a trophy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Martinez.
So in terms of getting over the line and doing that's the thing that just. I mean, not saying that Freiburg are full of them either. You know, all these things that we talk about, all these kind of stuff. It's the same for them.
We should win this. We should win the trophy. On paper, we should win it. Right? It's not even a contest, but it's a cup final. Anything can happen in a cup final. Anything. Right? It's one game, and it's whoever turns up. How many cup upsets have there been? When Leicester won the FA Cup, right? They weren't supposed to win the FA Cup against Chelsea, but they did. Why? Because Tielemans scored from 40 yards out. It was an absolute screamer, right?
Either Palace went to Palace last year. No one saw them coming.
Right? Because you turn up and they go, "Fuck, we might not ever get here again." What motivation Freiburg must have? You know, 7th in the German Bundesliga, going, "This is a chance to get into the Champions League," right? And we ain't going to get that again. Right, they're going to come out and they're going to fucking fight for everything. And if we can't match them, look, we know we can do it. We just did it. We did it like fucking 3 days ago, mate. It was fucking outstanding. Like, it's probably one of the best performances I've ever seen. Right, we only had to give probably 50% of what we gave on Thursday to beat Burnley today, and we didn't do it. We didn't even do it. I'm not even saying do that. And that mentality worries me, man, because like you said there, have we got the kahunas to get over the line? It worries me that we haven't, because, and that's not trying to be negative, that's just trying to be realistic. That's trying to go, we can do it, but only if we turn up. It's as simple as, because when we turn up, that team, right, can beat anybody, and I mean anybody. We've seen them do it, like PSG, Bayern, like Forest.
Interesting comment here from Steve. It's kind of, I mean, the other teams away as well, right?
Yeah.
But I will say that, if
We are the away team.
Not at Villa Park in Europe, mate. It's not been great.
Yes,
watching.
but we have played better in Europe away than we have in the Premier League. Like we beat Fenerbahce, we beat.
No, I agree.
Like,
yes, okay, yes, but it's still generally been, Emery away from home was this weird beast. It's like a totally different thing. So it'll be interesting to see how we do set up. One thing I was going to quickly ask is, I haven't watched all of it yet, but I saw that Sam from Villa Park podcast was on Sky after the Forest game.
Yeah,
and they were actually asking him about Unai Emery and him, all the stuff with Real Madrid and all these rumors. Like I said before, is yes, of course, those rumors are going to be there because anyone that's looking for a manager, if they don't have Unai Emery on some kind of notepad, then I don't know what they're watching. Like, I don't know what they're living.
He's one of the best managers in world football, mate. So why wouldn't he? Yeah.
My question is, if my thought is that, because I think a lot of people say if we don't win the Europa League, he might go. My thoughts actually more is if he wins the Europa League,
he's more likely to
go. Because he's done it. He's achieved something. He's done it. He's achieved something, and arguably he's probably got us to the highest we'll go because we're not going to win the Champions League, are we? So
not with that massive investment, mate, which we know we can't do.
Yeah. So if we win the Europa League, and all of a sudden that's like a vindication of he has achieved it, he's done it, he's got us back in the Champions League, we're going to be okay again because we'll probably sell Rodgers, we'll get another 100 million in, and we'll have this like war chest a little bit more to wiggle room with. Is that more likely that he's going to go?
I mean, mate, my instinct is I don't want him to go anywhere regardless, but like I think,
obviously.
I think I don't know. It's a tough one because there's the frustration of not being able to spend as well. So if we don't win it, does he want to leave because the restrictions are just too difficult to work under? Do you know what I mean? So
I mean, they're not, are they? Right? Because we're doing it. We're in the final.
Yeah. Like, what I'm saying is that like Emery, I think he's a man of integrity, right? So I don't think he'll walk away easily. Right. Even for Real Madrid, I know people will say, well, if they come knocking, you've got to go. A few of the podcasters have said that this week. But why have you got to go? I mean, in terms of what everyone... I
don't think that is the case, but I do think Real Madrid, we said Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Well, but the only worrying about that is when he joined Villa, I think he said himself, the only two teams he would leave for would be Barcelona or Real Madrid, right? So, but I don't know where his head. None of us know where his head's at in terms of when the cut-off point is. Like, because he had his 5-year plan, right, which was to get into Europe, then win a trophy. So actually, if he does win it, maybe that is the exit to say, actually, I'm the first manager in 30 years to win anything. We've had 4 seasons of Europe. I've taken you as far as I can, and no one's going to begrudge him that, because if he wins the Europa League, he goes down as a Villa legend, right? He'll arguably be Villa's all-time manager for me.
I mean, I'm just quickly looking here. If I'm right in thinking, so he had early years in his career, and then he was manager at Valencia for 4 years, just under 4 years. Then he was manager at Spartak Moscow for like 4 months or something, by the looks of it, not very long. Then he was at Sevilla for 3 years, or 3.5 years. PSG, he was there for 2 years. Arsenal, he was there for 1 year. Villarreal, he was there for 2 years. So actually, this is his longest stint now. I mean, if he gets to November of this year, that's 4 years. This is his longest stint.
Yeah.
So actually, it is coming up to the point where it's the question of, is it going to be long term, or is his project like?
I mean, it would. The other thing to think about, it would be weird, right, as well, because you talk about long term structure of the club, right? It would be weird for him to walk away now, considering one, he's got keys to the kingdom, right, and has got complete and utter control, right? He's not getting that anywhere else, particularly Real Madrid, right? Someone's just put in there, like, Real Madrid is a viper's pit at the moment. Look what they're doing.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's horrendous with all this stuff going on with Valverde and all this. It's horrendous.
Mate, like, why would you want to go? It's, you could lose 3 games and get the sack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh, bring him back.
Uh,
Just bring him back.
Well, maybe that's what we do, right? Go to Real Madrid until you get sacked, and then come back, right?
Yeah.
And maybe have it. Someone said this on another podcast I was on the other day. Like, bring back Dean Smith.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bring back Dean Smith for a year, and we can go, and then just swap it out, right? And we nothing will have to change. Then we'll just and it, that would be funny. But look, I hope he stays, because ultimately, if you think about the construction of the new stand, it's not going to be ready till 2028, for the Euros. If you look at just the general infrastructure globally of the club, what we're trying to do with sponsors and initiating brand deals and all that kind of stuff, like, why would you get involved in all of that, right? An investment in himself and playing to walk away for more money. That's all you're doing, really, right? And the chance to win the Champions League, where if he could do it with us, like, it's 2 more seasons minimum, right? To kind of, and being successful. Now it's whether he wants that stress.
It's more of an achieve. It's like, remember when you used to play Football Manager? I always used to pick Wimbledon because I wanted to take them through to like the glory, like the glory days again. Like you want to do. Oh, fucking hell! There's exorcism going on.
Mate, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
These lights in here are being a bit dodgy recently. I need to get an electrician out to look at them. So if smoke starts coming off in the background, then
mate, if a scary fucking figure becomes behind you, I'm gone. Like, you're done. I'm not here for that. I'm not being haunted, mate. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like.
It's just I feel like we're showing that we are, like we said, like you keep saying, we're on the edge of something great. We are so close to something great.
I felt it
now
for 18 months, mate.
We know that if we do hit Champions League this season, yes, we can't spend freely, but there's definitely more wiggle room. If we were to sell someone like Rodgers, and yes, I'm not saying Rodgers is a crap player. I'm just saying that he's not been consistent enough for what we want. I'd rather have like Rashford on the left or something like that, if I'm totally honest. And I know he's much older, but I just feel like 100 million or anything around that, plus Champions League football, should give us enough to be able to have some kind of wiggle room for us to really kick on and really improve that squad and give us that depth that we felt we had when we had Rashford and Asensio on loan. James is having a rave, got his strobes on. Yeah. Oh God. Oh, who said Real Madrid? Don't mistake what I'm saying, David. What?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, don't know. Yeah, I mean, we're not Madrid. We're not. Let's face it. But I want to say that Unai's tried that kind of taking that big team mantle before with both Arsenal and PSG, and it did not work. And it wasn't anything to do with him. It was just the pressures and the expectations and the way he works and the way he plays, and they just, for whatever reason, just didn't work with those clubs. Who says it's going to work with Real Madrid? So he's in such a place here where he's achieving stuff. He's being noticed. That tells me you're doing something good. And I don't think with a manager like him and an elite manager like him, it's not going to be the last time he gets knocked on the door.
But the thing is, we know that it's not going to last forever, mate. He won't stay forever. Like, so it depends on. None of us know where his head's at, because it could be the other side of that is that he's grown in confidence now and feels like he's ready to have another crack at a big club, right? Mm. Because obviously, I'm sure PSG and particularly the Arsenal job would have fucking dented that, because he's obviously always believed in these things. He goes to Villarreal, he gets a snippet of control, wins the Europa League with them, and then gets offered this job, right? Now, he very nearly went to Newcastle. In fact, it was almost a done deal. If you read the Rise of the Villains book, it was basically someone leaked it at Newcastle and he fucking hated it, so he decided not to, and then he came to us, right? So, a man of integrity, brilliant, right? Happy with that, right? So, it's whether he now feels confident enough to go, I'll have a crack at Real Madrid, right? I obviously, again, I don't want him to go anywhere. I want him to stay with us, but you can't be naive to think that football moves quickly, right? And if the right offer comes in for anybody, player or manager, they're going to be gone. Like, he's never getting a sack from here, right? We just got to hope that the mission is to continue to build a legacy. Now, like, there's little parts of me that like reading the Rise of the Villains that says to me that that's what he wants to do. He wants to stick around and build a legacy. It was never about winning one trophy with the Villa. It's about winning multiple trophies and getting us back into competing year in, year out for trophies and for Champions League football. So if that's bullshit, then I want money back for that fucking book, for one, right? That's going to cost me fucking 20 quid, right? But if it's not, and he does it, and he's a man of integrity, like I really believe he is, then maybe he's going to stick around to see out the job and get us back to those glory days, mate. And like I say, as close to something great, I think, because I think it could. Losing like winning is a mentality, right? And once you get that first one, that first trophy, unless you Spurs, obviously, you just want to fucking go for a relegation battle after you win a trophy. But they've never been as sound as we have, right? I think this could be the catalyst that catapults us.
Yeah, 100%. And it is. It feels like maybe, and I think it would. Like I said, I think it would have been last season, but we've talked about the fact that this squad needs freshening up. It needs a bit of a revamp because the age of it and all that kind of thing. And we've said we have to get Champions League to be able to do that. And if we do get Champions League, then that's surely him then looking at it going, right, here's the project starting. This is actually when the project's starting now. Not like we've spent this process to try and get to here to allow us to do it. And then now we're going to swap out 3 or 4 of our squad for 4, 5, 6 much better players. That's the kind of feeling, or at least bringing understudies that are going to blood over the next 2 or 3 years.
Because it also seems a lot of work to put into one club to walk away when you're so close to getting there. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you've worked under those financial restrictions, and you're probably 2 seasons away from breaking the shackles. Do you know what I mean?
I can't ignore these comments about we'll freshen it up and then selling or loaning them out a year or later. Trouble is, most of his own signings were binned and moved on. I feel like there's going to be another one of these books coming out probably in like 4, 5, 6 years or whatever that's going to explain it all. But the way I look at it, and Neil from the Liverpool McGrath podcast has spoken about this, and he's definitely said it the right way in that these players came in, like, say, for instance, Marlon, Diaby, Duran. They did not do anything. They did a job, and then we had to move them on because, well, Duran was absolute nutcase. But Marlon and Diaby, we moved on because it made sense from a business point of view. So it made sense from a monetary point of view. I have no doubt that if we actually had the finances and we're in the right position with the finances, they would have stayed. And actually, we'd be looking at it as very good signings. Pau Torres, brilliant defender. Onana, when he's fit, is brilliant. Rodgers, one of the best signings we've had in recent times. You've got, who else is there? I'm trying to think of other players. But, and yes, there has been a lot of players that we brought in and all these kind of youngsters. But we talked about that before with the way that the transfer market is now and the visibility we have on every single player that comes in, 16, 15-year-old, 17-year-old, whatever. That would have happened back in the day, but we wouldn't have even really known about it. And that's true. Those deals do happen. Just kind of players come in, they loan them for a bit, they get a little bit of a cash injection from that, from selling them on, or there's like movements around because of fiscal years, all this kind of stuff. And I feel like that's been blown a little bit out of proportion. Personally, that I just feel, I'm not saying recruitment's been amazing, but I think we know that we overachieved, got Champions League. See what we got when we were able to get Champions League. We got Asensio and Rashford in on loan, which were players that he wanted. Then we underachieved. And we couldn't kick on. So we ended up with fucking Gesond and like these reject players and not being able to do anything. Whereas you'd probably be looking at going, we'd have 2 or 3 new starters in our 11 now. And it would be a totally different level.
You can't help but feel that Monchi had a key part to play in most of those signings last summer.
Yeah, exactly that too.
And there's a reason why he's gone, right? And so, again, if you think about Alibe, who was brought in, who has barely been mentioned, mate, since he's come in, right? We've had one January kind of, obviously, nothing really. we've just literally brought back players to fill in gaps, right? And we know how that's turned out. And now the summer will be an opportunity for us to do a bit of business. Now we're going to have to be astute. Obviously, we know that, right? And players will come and go, but I'll be really intrigued to see how it's going to go. I'm a bit nervous because of the World Cup, right? So I just think that things aren't going to happen until after the World Cup. So we're going to have to wait literally. Like it's going to be happening while pre-season is going on. Do you know what I mean? And that's a tough one. So I just,
the World Cup's a bit of a difficult one. It also like potentially inflates the prices of players you're looking at and all that kind of stuff. Because if they have a good World Cup, I always think of what was it, Nico Williams, wasn't it, from can't remember, and he had an amazing tournament, didn't he? And we were linked with him, and then we're like, oh, well, we're not getting him now because he's just adding his value.
Exactly. Oh, there it goes. Fucking out. But that could work for us in our favour, mate, because it looks like Morgan Rogers are dead cert to start the World Cup by the looks of things. And
some weird fucking shit's just gone on with Gary's camera. It's all right. It's the last bit.
Yeah, last bit.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to leave it there. I think we've gone round the reeking on all kinds of different topics there. Right. We touched on the Burnley game for about 5 minutes. But
not necessarily, mate. We
touched on the whole context around it, right, and all the things around the performance and what it means and everything. But we will be. I'm actually away next week. I have very limited internet signal, I'm afraid, Gary. Sorry. So Gary is going to have to do the preview for Liverpool. But I'll be able to come on and do the post-match for Liverpool. I actually can't go to the game, by the way, because it's been moved to the Friday. I know. It got moved to the Friday. It's the last day of my holiday. We're coming back that afternoon. I know.
It's the last home game.
I know, I'm gutted. It was meant to be the Saturday, wasn't it? It was Saturday or Sunday, and it got moved back. I'm gutted. I'm well.
Just come back early.
I can't just come back early. That's not how it works.
Yes, that's exactly how it works. You paid for it. Just come back. Mate, you can leave at any time. You can't get your priorities sorted, mate. There's people who can't get tickets for games, and you're just fucking going on holiday and ignoring them. Who books holiday when the season's still on? Dickhead. Not me. I'm not away for Istanbul.
You were meant to be in Devon for Istanbul.
just stirring the pot, mate. Just stirring it. There you go. No, look, that's devastating, mate. Because I'm going to be there, so I'm not missing the last home game. And then, of course, there's Istanbul. But next week, so tomorrow, I'm going to do a weekly thought show, but I'm going to do it with Mrs. Gary. Sarah Brent's going to do it with me, right? So I was going to get Sam from True Adventures, but I thought, we've done a lot with Sam, and maybe we'll get him on again before the season's out. But obviously Sarah and I did one a few weeks ago, and that was quite fun. So we're going to pick. Well, and she was there on Thursday, so she wants to give her opinion on Thursday, and we can talk a bit more about the Burnley game tomorrow as well. So do you know what? Again, this is the beautiful thing of Mrs. Gaz. I get back from taking over, and like she's watched the game. Like I've come in and she's kind of like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Who are you? Like what? Like what is going on?"
I love you. You're amazing.
I thought she was perfect anyway, but now she's like getting into the football. Like this woman's the dream, man. I am in dreamland. So look forward to that. And then we'll have, hopefully, I haven't asked her yet, but I'll try and get Red Luca, Liverpool fan and fellow fan list on for maybe Wednesday, or I'll shoot Wednesday, get it out Thursday for the Liverpool preview. And then it'll be Liverpool Friday. And then fuck me, we're into the big one.
Yep. And then we'll be doing the preview for that. And obviously you are going to Istanbul. I've managed to get tickets for the warehouse. Me and Pete are going there.
Fair play, mate.
It's sold out. I mean, it's weird that it's only 3,000 people. Like Villa aren't doing a big.
So people have messaged me about getting a petition to get it from the ground. But the fact of the matter is, after Friday, that's it for Villa Park. They're getting that down. So they I guess they didn't know we get to the final because the work starts, so they can't, for health and safety reasons, put it in the ground. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But I don't know. There'll be plenty of people. But what they should do, there's another thing that's gone around, is that potentially this would piss off the Blues fans, but put it in Centenary Square, put a big screen like they do for the World Cup, get it up and allow people to go and do it. But they won't because of that, because there'll be Knobhead Birmingham.
I was about to say, there's the Lunar Springs showing thing, but then they had something on this weekend, and there was 3 stabbings or something, so they might
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mate,
it's
not
not.
happening. It won't happen. And this is what I'm saying. It fucking pisses me off because I love the football bubble. And in an ideal world, that should be able to happen with no one getting stabbed. But there's too many
Yeah.
fucking knobheads in the world, right?
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, for those Villa fans that haven't got tickets to the warehouse, that's unfortunate. Just stay safe wherever you're going. I'm going to keep very quiet in Istanbul till the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, mate,
just,
you keep off them margaritas, mate. That's all you need to do. Keep off the margaritas. Keep away from the turkey.
Do you know what? I can't really drink in really because of the time of our flights. I've got to drive to Devon on the Thursday. But when I get back, I've literally got to pick Ava up from her exam and drive to Devon 3 hours. So there's not. I can't. I'm functioning on no sleep. Like it's going to be fucking mad.
Yeah,
but if we win it, mate, I don't care. I'm going to be so. I won't need a plane to get home. I'll fucking fly home anyway. It'll just be. I still can't believe I'm going. I cannot believe I'm going. I'm pinching myself. I keep texting my mate going, I didn't dream yesterday, did I? It's definitely happening, right? You're not fucking with me because this is a really mean prank, right? Because I've told everyone I'm going now, right? So don't fucking...
told the world.
Then today, he sent me this. He's been to the Villa store and I think he's bought this. I think you can see that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very nice. Istanbul 26. That's cool. Yeah, nice. Right. Anyway, that's about time then, Gary. If you want to give us your final thoughts and sing us out.
Final thoughts, Ian. It's been an emotional week. And I think the reason why I was so hyper today, I'm disappointed about the result, was because I was on such a high from Thursday. And my expectation was we'd just go and brush Burnley aside today and be done with it and relax and get ready for the final, regardless of the Liverpool result. It hasn't happened. But look, someone put in the comments here, I think it was Nickelodeon, who put, I agree with you, but this is the best time to be a Villa fan. It's been an amazing 4 years. We've been fighting for this. We've got to a European final. We can now win it. If we do, it's going to be the best season I've ever experienced at Villa Park. Right. So I'm buzzing. God, it looks like you're going to say something and ruin my final thought.
I never thought about this. If we win it, we get the Super Cup, don't we?
Oh shit, Sarah.
Never thought about that. It'd be shit if it's Arsenal.
No, it's going to be PSG, mate. PSG are going to fucking murder Arsenal.
We can't. Best be PSG.
Yeah, if it's Arsenal,
I got my hopes up now. No, we can't talk about that. Right, we can't talk about that. Right, Gary, sing us out then, mate.
Basically, we've got some travelling around Europe to do, baby, and that's what I love. Istanbul, baby, here we come. And as always, this is going to sound shit because my voice has gone, but every week we follow the boys in Claret and Blue. It's coming back. It's coming back, baby. Woo!